Okay, my clock says 8 o'clock Eastern time, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to Stepping Stones to AAC. Happy Halloween. So I'm so glad that all of you could join us this evening for our spooky themed Stepping Stones class tonight. We have prepared a few videos to go over with you and some core words that we can use while we are trick-or-treating. So thanks for joining us tonight. Okay, so for our classroom, welcome to our Stepping Stone classroom. We kind of jazzed it up a little bit to make it a little bit more spooky for Halloween, and Heather and I are in costumes. I am the unicorn Bitmoji, that is me, Brittany Tony. I don't think I introduced myself, so I apologize. My name is Brittany Tony, and I am an assistive technology consultant for Saltillo. I cover Southwestern Ohio, Indiana, and Northern Kentucky. So if you live in any of those states or areas, I will be your consultant. And I also have Heather Prenovo with me. I'll let her introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. I am the pumpkin. I couldn't find any other cute costumes. Brittany got the good one. I am also a speech language pathologist and assistive technology consultant for Saltillo, and I cover Minnesota and Wisconsin. So we're staying warm up north this week.
And as you will notice, if you've not been to our classroom before, on our bookshelf we have a variety of icons. Those are symbol sticks icons that represent each of the trainings that we have already completed. If you would like to view those trainings, you can go to our Saltillo brand YouTube channel to view trainings such as reading a book, going through photo albums, a fall walk, or dress up, getting dressed. So, which would also be very relevant for this evening, right? So dressing up and getting dressed. So, okay, so we just wanted to, AAC is a journey, and so we hope that with these stepping stones to AAC presentations that we can get you started on your journey, whether you're a speech pathologist newer to AAC or you're just looking for some ideas for the parents or caregivers that you work with to implement AAC at home, or if you're a parent and wanting to learn some more ways how to do this in daily activities.
So in the materials tab, there are those 3 handouts that Brittany mentioned at the beginning. The first one you see on the screen is called the organizational tool, and we'll be filling one out together tonight as we go through the presentation, but feel free to download and save that PDF. You can reuse it as a planning tool to think about what core words you want to target with your student or your child, and then we'll talk about how you can plan what you're going to model for them on their device. The other handout, or one of the other handouts, is the reference tool, is the label. And this is just for you when you take it with you, or if you're going to share it with others, it describes each of the steps that we're going to go through tonight. It gives you a little bit more information to help you remind what to do, how to think about it, how to plan for interacting with AAC and your child.
Okay, so let's start with trick-or-treating. That's going to be the theme for this evening. I know there's many different themes that we could go with for Halloween, but that's the theme that we're going to stick with tonight. So my house, Halloween is all about getting dressed up and going trick-or-treating. I have 2, well, I guess one of them's not a toddler anymore, one 3-year-old and one 5-year-old. And believe it or not, you can incorporate a great deal of core words when going trick-or-treating. Even if this year it's just in your backyard or at inside your house, kind of like an Easter egg hunt or something. So also Halloween and trick-or-treating is fun for individuals of all ages. I know I myself enjoy getting dressed up as well. And who doesn't like getting free candy? I know I like to steal my kids' candy because I can't eat it all, right?
Exactly.
And the core words that we are going to discuss today can also be generalized to other activities as well. And the core words that I've chosen to target during this activity can be, it's really up to your discretion. The words that I chose may not be the words that you chose. You can use words like walk when you're going trick-or-treating. I mean, just keep that in mind as we're going through this as well. So this is our low tech. Sorry, go ahead.
It's so hard when we can't see each other, you know, being across the country.
It's terrible.
We'll get in sync. The last handout that you have is our low-tech board. And so if you don't have a student's device or your child's device in front of you, you can always model and practice using the low-tech board. So this is based off the WordPower 60 basic file with a few extra words. It's great to have those lying around to model if you can't touch their device or just to practice where things are located. So if you are able to print that out or have a device next to you, that'll be helpful as we go through and practice and find words. So it's good to also just kind of familiarize yourself with the words on here because the majority of them are core words. So as Brittany shows you the videos coming up, you can be looking at it and thinking about what words you're hearing.
Okay, so I'm going to turn my volume up. Just let me know if you cannot hear this video. We'll do some troubleshooting. All right, we're here at our first store for trick-or-treating. We have our bucket. What are we going to do first? That's right, we're going to knock on the door. And we're going to wait for them to open it. We have to open the door for us to get candy. Right, they open the door for us. How nice! Open. Now let's tell them we want to get candy. Get candy, please. Thank you. Get more candy. Thank you. Oh, remember, tell them your brother cannot have candy. No candy for brother. Thank you. He got a pencil instead. Bye. Okay, so I know it's harder to do these videos when you don't have a child with you available, but that is what we got to work with these days. So, okay, so now with the words that you heard me use, we're just type in the chat window what words you heard me using. We're going to choose 3 core words that you heard me use during that video, using your low-tech board as a guide.
I heard get.
Open, get, yep.
Want, more.
Yep. Any other ones? I also said thank you.
I was just gonna.
Which is a social core word. So, all right, let's go. I guess it's more of a social word. Okay, here we go. So, good job. Thank you for participating. So we're going to talk about open-ended questions, and we use open-ended questions to encourage communication. If you're not familiar, an open-ended question is a question that cannot be answered with a yes or no response, or a question that will just be answered with just one word or a phrase that does not continue the conversation. So with open-ended questions, we're really looking for a way to continue the conversation and encourage that communication for our AAC users. And writing down a script ahead of time, which is what we're going to do here in a second, gives us less to think about during that activity, especially if you're newer to modeling with your AAC user. So just a little quiz. Which of the following is an open-ended question? Do you want candy, or what are we going to do tonight? I know you guys got this.
We're going to have to start thinking of harder questions. The one on the right. You are correct.
Yes, exactly. Good job, guys. So with do you want candy, our device user can only say yes or no. Either they do or they don't. With what are we going to do tonight, they can say something like eat candy, get candy, dress up, go walk. There's so many things that you can talk about when you say what are we going to do tonight versus do you want candy?
And I kind of think of it as also like an errorless way of getting them to communicate. So no matter what they respond with, usually it pertains to the question and you don't have to guess.
For sure. So now I want you guys to type in the chat window again some questions, open-ended questions that we can either use to prompt our AAC user to use the target word get, open, or thank you, or an open-ended question where we can model that word.
So it can be part of the question or it could be the response to the question. What are we going to get? Nice.
Oh, wrong. I was typing in the chat window, sorry. What are we going to get? Good. Good. Yeah, maybe they could say candy or they could say treat or surprise.
What do you want to get? Nice.
Yes. For those of our AAC users who can't have candy. What about open? What open-ended questions could we use with the word open?
I thought of who will open, like who will open the door or who will open the candy.
Yeah, you could use this not only for opening the door, but also for opening candy. Mm-hmm.
And even if we were just modeling a phrase like I open and make it a question, trying to prompt them to talk a little bit more. Which candy should we open? I like it.
Oh yeah, that's a great one. Yeah. Okay, what about thank you? What open-ended questions could we ask with the word thank you? This is a little bit harder.
I was thinking of what should we say or what do we say? What do we say next?
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. What should we say? That's what I always tell my kids. So maybe a thank you is, again, you could use so many core words with this activity, but I thought thank you was a good social word that we could add because we haven't had many of those through this series yet.
Good to mix it up.
Any other thoughts? Again, I think that's probably the easiest one. What should we say or what can you say?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so next we are going to talk about comments. So when we are writing a script for comments, we want to think about what comments we can model for our AAC user. So if your child's not yet responding to open-ended questions, this is when you can model comments. So we're going to write down 1 to 2 comments that you can model for your child in response to your open-ended question. So if we asked them, what can you say? We can model, thank you for candy, something like that. So keep them at or just above their language level. This is a recommendation that we often give, is that modeling, we should not model more than 2 to 3 words beyond how many the AAC user is currently saying. So if your AAC user is only using 1-word phrases to communicate, they're in that stage 1 of communication with AAC, then only model 2 to 3 words. If they're at the 3-word level, where they're combining 3 words together, then you can model 4 to 5 words or 5 to 6 words. You can model a whole sentence. But we don't want to overwhelm them and model too much. So that's just a good rule of thumb to keep in mind when we're modeling comments or even questions?
Another thing to keep in mind too, as you're modeling, don't be too worried about modeling every word that you're saying. So if you're saying a 2 to 3 word sentence, you don't have to model all 3 of those words. So focus, that's why we're picking just a couple words, focus in on those words, and you can just model that. You'll say your whole sentence, but you might just press the one button to model on their device, and then slowly also be building up how many buttons you're pressing.
Okay, so we're going back here to our planning sheet, and what comments, oops, sorry, my computer doesn't like to cooperate with me. There we go. What comments can we model for the word get? This could be a 2 or 3 word phrase.
First one that came to my head was get candy.
Yes, yeah.
Or maybe get more.
Yeah, or get more candy.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe, like in the video, I was modeling just in case you're get dressed up. Oh, that's perfect. I love that. Thank you. Yeah. Or I was thinking in the video, if your AAC user cannot, let's get going. Yeah. Cannot get candy, we can say something like get treat or no get candy.
Or I get it.
Yeah. There's lots of things you can model for the word get. Okay, what about open? Open.
I like it, Judith. You are after my heart, yes.
That's what my 3-year-old says repeatedly.
Open door. Yep. Kay and I are thinking the same.
Yes. Yeah.
Open more.
Ooh, I like that. Open chocolate candy. We can put a modifier in there. Or open red candy or something like that.
Or open first.
Open first, yeah.
Usually what we talk about.
What about thank you? What can we model for the word thank you?
Thank you for the candy.
For the candy.
Thank you for the treat.
Say is on our core board that we have, so we can even say thank you.
Yep, just say thank you.
Yep.
Or even starting to include, if it's a neighbor they know, including names as kind of a fun addition too.
Thank you, Miss Shirley or something. Yes. Addressing people is another important social skill. That's great. Okay. So step 3 you see here on this screenshot that I already filled it in, but how will you model? So we wrote our scripts, and again, I just filled these in based on what just my own thinking, but you guys did way better than I did. But with step 3, we just kind of write it out again, but with our models, we're just kind of breaking it down even more. So, okay, I have a script and I have a comment for my script and my question. What 2 or 3 word model can I then use with these words? And maybe if they're only at a single word level, or maybe they're just learning, they just got their device, maybe you're only modeling 1 word. So, or if they are using 1 word, your 2 or 3 word model might be something in the right-hand column. And then, oh, did I not? I forgot to put on my squares on this one. I'm so sorry. Or maybe I did. Maybe there are another. Hang on a second. Oh, I did. I didn't. Okay, there we go. My chat box is covering my next screen, so I'm sorry. Okay, so open. This is just where they're located on your low-tech board, just to give you an idea. Get. You can even highlight these with, cutting a square on a Post-it note on your low-tech board or something. And then there's thank you.
And that's the key piece with all of this, is that it seems like maybe a lot of work to write out a script or plan all this ahead of time. But until you get more comfortable with what to model, where things are located, it's helpful to have some backup plans. So if you're thinking, oh, they're ready for 2 or 3 words, but maybe today they only were doing 1, now you've got your little script set aside to help you on the fly. And then to find them ahead of time, even though I've worked with this low-tech board for I don't know how many years, I still struggle to remember where more is located on that board. And so practice and actually like touch the device, touch the board to find those words and make it more automatic. And that's kind of the idea behind it, is that do a lot of this now to get really comfortable and make it more automatic so that you don't have to think it through. You don't get anxious or have to worry about what's going to happen in the moment.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a video of me modeling using these core words. So I wanted to point out in this video that I am using a flipbook based on some feedback that we received from previous series, seminars in this series. We received some feedback to show some low-tech options. And this flipbook is actually available on our website. If you go to saltillo.com and then chat corner, there's a low-tech board download section, and this is free. You can download it. It's also might be a good option for trick-or-treating, especially if it's maybe raining, or maybe it's a little cold, or maybe it's snowing where you are. During trick-or-treating, you can take this with you as an option, so you don't have to worry about getting the device lost or dropped or broken or wet. So just another option. And so I am modeling using this flipbook, and this flipbook is the Word Power 60 Basic Flipbook. So I'll show you how I model the words get, open, and thank you using this flipbook. Oh, whoops, sorry. Forgot to. All right, we're at our first house. What are we gonna do? We have our bucket. What do we need to do first? Knock. Now we need to wait for them to open that door. We're gonna open the door. Oh, look, they opened the door for us. The door is open. Now let's tell them that we want to get candy. Say, get candy, please. Here's our candy. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the candy. Oh, remember, your brother cannot have candy. No candy. No, get candy for brother. Good. We can say thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, so I hope that showed you how to use a flipbook with some core words and modeling with some fringe in there. I did want to note, I did modify that eats page, the eat page I just superimposed the candy icon on top of one of the icons that I didn't think was relevant. So just so you know, the candy one is not standard. You would just have to download a separate candy icon through Chat Editor. Okay, so after trying the steps with the video, do you have questions still? How do you feel about everything? Oh, you're so welcome, Natalia. I really hope that was helpful. I know we had some requests for showing some low-tech options. You could definitely just use the low-tech board as well, but I like the book option because then you can get some of the fringe words like candy and some other words in there. So if you didn't want to use candy, maybe it was a toy or something that they want to get. So our emails are listed there. You're welcome to contact us and let us know if you have other suggestions or questions. We'd be happy to help out. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope that you all enjoy your Halloween, even though it may look a little bit different for some of us this year.